Portrait Mobile is not just another product, it's the beginning of the next generation of monitoring.
Really, there have been only incremental advances in patient monitoring over the last few decades.
So what we did about 5 years ago, we wiped the slate clean and we said, what if we were to design a monitoring system from the ground up, from nothing, rather than make changes to the existing?
So Portrait Mobile is an astounding product. It has a new foundation that is really a patient-centric solution.
I think it's just going to look very different to what we've done before. So I think that'll be, just the whole look and feel of it will feel like a revolution to everybody who touches it.
The entire ecosystem is enabled for medical IoT type use cases. So think more broadly in the sense that we can have many devices connecting to the ecosystem. We can scale up, scale down, depending on how the patient is doing, how many patients we want to cover. All of these things we built into the system will enable more flexibility when it comes to deploying it within a healthcare IT department.
Patients will be wearing wireless, unobtrusive sensors that allows them to ambulate, walk around the room without having to be connected with wires to a bedside device.
The cables will all go away with our wireless sensors, so the patient and the clinicians treating the patients will have free access to the patient.
That allows the patient to freely roll around in bed and not get tangled up in wires. It allows the clinicians to more easily add and remove parameters as the acuity of the patient goes up or down.
Many studies in the literature show that the sooner a patient can get out of bed and move around, the better the outcome. Well, by making the parameters wireless, we've just disconnected the patient from the bed.
The architecture of Portrait Mobile allows us to be patient-centric rather than device-centric. The output of that will be much better outcomes for the patients themselves.
This isn't a home router that you just reboot when your Wi-Fi gets flaky. It is something that needs to work when the connection is interrupted, when it's mobile throughout the facility, when the network is congested. So we simulated years worth of those events to ensure it was reliable.
So we developed the binder communication technology, which also is like a body area network technology. What does this do? This communicates data from the sensor wirelessly to our patient monitor. And we've designed a protocol which is deterministic in the way it goes from frequency to frequency and retry to retry in time, such that it'll give us the highest probability to be able to get that data from A to B. And that is unique proprietary technology from GE Healthcare.
The M-band communication protocol was designed to be reliable and in such a fashion that made it as good as a wired connection.
We've designed it from day one to be what we call a good citizen on the network.
We've designed it to use your current Wi-Fi infrastructure, provided that the coverage is sufficient. We've designed it to work into your current networking architecture, fully routable architecture.
We've made it easy to integrate Portrait Mobile into our customers' ecosystems.
It was real important for us that when we connect our system to the customer's network, it's easy to manage. And one of those aspects is making sure that the IP addresses on the network are dynamically assigned.
So one of the advantages of working with the best-in-class companies to build Portrait Mobile is that we're also using the best-in-class in cybersecurity.
Portrait Mobile solves a lot of those security problems by having robust security and privacy controls built in and designed into the product from the very beginning.
The best part of building a new product was we could take security and make sure it was a primary ingredient in our design.
Our patient monitoring device is ruggedized and hardened and very difficult to attack. Same thing on the core services server and on the viewing application as well. We have end-to-end encryption and authentication and authorization across the whole flow of data going through the entire system.
From an interoperability perspective, everything is on open standards which most hospitals have access to and utilize today.
We'll be able to collect and interface full fidelity patient data, all the physiological waveforms, measurements, alarms, and be able to share that with the customers in an open standard format. In addition, this platform that we've built is extendable. We plan on starting in the lower acuity areas in the ward, but as you can see, this technology will be applied across the care continuum.
The technology that excites me the most is the architecture that allows us to scale the system beyond our version 1 release. Portrait Mobile will become a platform for our patient monitoring system and would be able to scale to the smallest of hospitals to the largest of hospitals by simply adding additional hardware resources to it.
It's a complete revolution, not an evolution, of how we're doing patient monitoring. Not one piece of that technology has been reused from previous GE products. That's how seriously we took the revolution piece and taking monitoring to the next level. So this is not just a single product for us. This is the platform that we are going to build patient monitoring off, not just for today, but for the next 10, 20 years.